Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chassity. We read a lot of books, we do a lot of things. It's kind of the whole shtick. Now, I have had my bookshelves organized like this for about a year now, and I think it's time to revamp it a little bit. I have bought some new books. I have been given some new books. I've given some books away. Some books that I loaned out have come back to their home. So we kind of need to reevaluate. I was looking at my shelf the other day and this is a Witcher book and this down here is a Witcher book. My authors are separated, my genres are separated. So we are going to come together and see if we can't find a more cohesive environment. Now, there are a couple of shelves in the bookshelf in the living room that I'm going to leave alone, but I am going to be pulling the rest off of those, kind of reorganizing them and see how they fit into what we've kind of got going on. I want to make sure that my bookshelves, when you come in, you can kind of find everything super easily because I do loan books out and I want to be able to come in and be like, this is the shelf that has all of my thrillers on it. This is my shelf that has all of my mysteries. This is my horror. This is my fantasy. This is my young adult. I want to make sure that it's really cohesive and easy to find things. Hi, bubbies. Hello. So let's start pulling things off the shelf and get started. What do we know for sure is up here? We've got adult romance, contemporary fiction, fantasy that I just spelt wrong. We got adult fantasy, thrillers. And then I'm just going to make a section for YA, and we're going to have to split up the YA differently later. And then as I come across authors that are the same, I'm going to separate them out a little bit. We are also going to be purging the bookshelf because some of these books I read and I just don't care about anymore. Some of them I've outgrown and some of them I just have duplicates. So we're going to purge just a little bit. Oh, I guess I should have a section for classics. Crap. All this bottom shelf behind this is going to stay exactly the way that it is. I'm not going to touch it. It is all of my Christian self-help. It's got my C.S. Lewis on it. There's just that book. That section is just going to stay the same. It's got all of my mom's books on it. We're just going to leave that as is. Oh, I guess I need my historical fiction because I have some of those too. At the end of this, I also would really like a count of all of my books because the goal is to one day have a full library. Ignore him. I know he's in his crate. He's been sick today. I would rather him vomit in there than on the carpet. Let's start with all the stuff from the living room. Ooh. So I'm not going to lie, a lot of these I don't know where they actually fall. So we're going to look some of them up. Should we start at the bottom and work our way up? I think that's what we're going to do. going to turn you guys off, and I'm going to keep doing this until the bookshelf is clear, and I'll come back to you guys as soon as we have something a little bit more substantial. I have so many YA books. When we come to YA, we're going to have to separate them into, I think, dystopian, fantasy, contemporary, hisfic, maybe? I don't know. That's a thought for later. Okay. So I have them all separated for the most part. This big old chunk right here is all young adult, and we're going to separate them within its own sections. What we kind of have going on. This stack is all romantasy. This stack is all adult romance. Then you have contemporary fiction, classics. I've got my Colleen Hoover, Grady Hendrix over there, T. Kingfisher, horror, thriller, regular just fantasy, no peppers, but adult fantasy. I have one book of poetry by Gabby Hanna that I bought years and years and years ago. I used to have a Robert Frost collected works. I have no idea where it went. Then I have whodunits, like crime novels. And then I have sci-fi, which I thought I had a larger science fiction section. Well, granted, some of my science fiction is in the other room. But it's all one author, so they're staying there. Then I have my R.F. Kuang section, which I only have one book here because one of them got stuck in my historical fiction section. And then these up here are all going to go bye-bye. It's so bright. All of these up here I'm actually going to get rid of or try to sell just because they either I didn't care for them, they're a duplicate, or I'm just not going to read them. Now comes kind of the hard part of how should these bad boys go up on the shelf? Here's what I'm thinking. I think what I'm going to do is start at the top and move my way this way and then down. So both shelves are kind of connected. I don't know how these would go on the shelf best. I want it to be cute and aesthetic, but I also want it to be functional. So I think I'm going to stick with what I kind of had going for me, which was like romance, then romantasy, then just regular fantasy. They all kind of bleed into each other. And then maybe contemporary and then classics. And then maybe I'll move into whodunits and then sci-fi, thrillers, and then horror maybe. And put the authors in their respective places as I go. And then maybe have the bottom few shelves just for like YA. Because I think I reach for them a little less often, even though they are my largest section. I'm not gonna lie, I found a few in here that I kind of want to reread. I came across them and I was like, oh wait, no, this sounds like so much fun. Maybe I should reread that. So if you want to see me reread some of my favorite books from like high school, leave a comment. I would be super down for it. But I think that's what we're going to do. So, oh, and I still have those spots in the living room. What should go in the living room? I forgot a lot of these came from the living room. What if I put my romance and my romantasy in the living room with like Sarah J. Maas and Harry Potter and everything else in here? Or I could put my dedicated authors in the living room. Let's do that. Let's start with like my dedicated authors. I'll put them in the living room and we'll see what's left. I like that idea. I think I'm done. That did not take nearly as long as I thought that it would. I really thought I would be here all day, and I in fact have not even finished my morning coffee. It's only about noon. But I also don't have as many books as I thought. Now, I'll give you the full tally at the end of how many books I actually currently own, minus the ones that I'm going to be selling, giving away. But I was able to reclaim 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bookmarks from books that I was like, I stopped in the middle, I was doing a reread, I haven't picked up in however many years they've been on my shelf. And I realized that I have a ton of nonfiction books that I simply haven't gotten around to. So we'll definitely be diving into that a little bit more, just because I came across a lot of titles that I was like, that looks really good. I wonder why I haven't read it yet. But the layout makes sense to me, which I think is the most important thing. Everything is separated by genre to an extent. I tried to make sure genres flowed into one another, but again, I had like 5 or 6 sci-fi books, and then 5 or 6 horror novels, and then 20 fantasy novels. So I did the best that I could. I do think that the bookshelf looks really nice. I think that it gave it a much needed like revamp, spring cleaning, breath of fresh air. I think I will be able to find and look for books a little bit easier. I also realized that I'm missing my copy of Animal Farm. Have no idea where it went. It got loaned out and never returned. So I will be needing to replace that, I think. I'm really proud of how this turned out. I'm really excited about how it turned out. Now, let's go through the books that I'm going to be trying to sell really quickly. And these were all books that I either had a duplicate of or I no longer found interest in, something like that. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. I read this for a reading vlog where my dad picks my books, and I liked half of this book. I wish there had been more. I would have read a book entirely about him on his adventure out after he left the old folks home, and less so about his history. I wasn't that intrigued. Crescent City 3, A House of Flame and Shadow. This is just a duplicate. It's a chunk and I had forgotten, but this took up so much room on my shelf that I don't want 2 copies of this particular series unless they're both special editions. So we're going to be getting rid of this guy. Those Empty Eyes by Charlie D'Anelia. This was a DNF. I got halfway through it and put it down. It wasn't for me. I didn't care for it. Laura Hildebrand's Unbroken. I started this book 5 years ago and I made it about 50 pages in. Yes, I think that it is such an important story. I would rather watch a movie than read the book. I was disconnected from it, and it was interesting, was never gonna finish it. The City of Fallen Angels by John Barradent. I'm probably saying that wrong. I did keep another one of his books, The Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. It's up on my shelf somewhere, but I didn't realize these were nonfiction. I'm not a big nonfiction girly, and I believe this one is about Los Angeles, and it's just not anything that I found myself reaching for or very interested in. So we're gonna go ahead and give this to a different home, see if they like it. 10 Tiny Breaths by K.A. Tucker. I believe this was a gift from an ex that I have never one time ever reached for or been interested in. I genuinely don't even know what it's about, so we're just gonna go ahead and give this to a home that will love it. Escape Room. Honestly, I might just throw this one in the trash. This is my one and only ever 1-star rated book. I hated it from start to finish. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, book 1 and 2. I read the first 2 books. Again, the second one, I felt I was left lacking, and I've never really been interested in searching for book 3. I think the first one was very unique and I had a lot of fun, just not a series that I see myself giving more time to. The Sasquatch Hunter's Almanac by Sharma Shields. I kept this in my last cleaning of the bookshelves vlog, and I was like, I think I'm gonna read it. I think it sounds very interesting. I have not one time been drawn to it, and every time I see it, I go, I'm not really interested. So I think it's time for it to find a new home, Hopefully one where someone is very interested in Sasquatch. Fun fact, my family in Oklahoma swear that they have seen Bigfoot in the woods. Rosemary and Rue, C.Anne McGuire, the first October Day novel. This was a blind date with a book that I opened it and then never read it. I'm not gonna lie, I opened it and was very disappointed. I think I was hoping for something different. I think it's one of those, I bought it like at a farmer's market and it's just not for me. You know what I mean? I took a swing, I took a gamble, it did not pay off. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter by Seth Grahame-Smith. I want to say I started this one time and was just not interested. I think I was hoping for more of a historical fiction where the president was a vampire hunter, and this was more of like somebody finds his diary, and so you're reading a book about diary entries from what I gleaned from it. Not for me. Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I actually read this a very long time ago and I did really, really love it. I think I would prefer a nicer copy, but I just don't feel like it has space on my shelves anymore, if that makes sense. Deceit by James Siegel. I don't know what this is about. I don't remember buying it. I feel like I've grown out of whatever this was. Not something that I'm gonna reach for. Bard to You by Sylvia Day and book 1, 2, and 3 are all going away. Bard to You by Sylvia was my first romance, like dark romance kind of vibe as an adult, and I have found things that I'm more interested in. I think these, for what they were and what they did in that time of my life, was opened me up for a whole slew of new stories. They served their purpose, but I find myself drawn to things that have a little bit more tension and less insta-love kind of vibes. So I'm going to be saying goodbye to Sylvia Day as well. August Wilson's Gem of the Ocean is literally a school book that for some reason I kept from when I dropped out of college. I feel like this one might be a little touchy, but James Dashner's The Maze Runner. I didn't care for the books. I thought they did this is probably the one and only time you'll ever hear me say I think the movie was better than the book. Half Stick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. Zeus 8, it's dust cover, and I didn't care for it. I gave it a 3-star on FABLE and Goodreads. Just wasn't for me. I didn't connect with it much. So we're going to give this to a home where someone will enjoy it. And then Shadow of the Fox by Julia Kagawa. Kind of same principle. I listened to it. I think I almost DNF'd this one. I didn't care much for it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I expected something different and I could not readjust my expectations, and I just didn't have the best time. Not to say it wasn't a good book for what it was, just kind of outside of my range. So now for what I've been waiting for, which is the total number of books that I currently own, not including Bibles, study material, or the ones that I'll be giving away. That comes to a grand total of 327 books. Now, for me to be classified as a library, I have to have 1,000 books. I'm a third of the way there. We have big goals in this house. Those are my bookshelves. That's what I did. I had a really good time. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that everything has its own place. I'm glad that they feel more put together and I think reflect what I'm hoping to go into this year reading more, which I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at the YA and a lot of them I've already read and a lot of them are trilogies, but would be super down for a reread of like Partials, Unwind by Neil Shusterman, Glow, I don't think I ever finished. The Anatomy of Beasts is actually a second book that I don't own the first one for. Oops. I need to get a new copy of Animal Farm. I would love to reread Four Dead Queens. I'm just looking, and now I'm kind of excited to read more. I want to read Bunny by Mona Awad. I think I said that name right. We love to see it. So glad you could come with me. I hope you enjoyed this video of me kind of reorganizing my bookshelf and getting it ready for the second half of this year, it being June all of a sudden. But I love you guys. Thanks for coming along. If you want to see more videos of me just kind of going through my bookshelf, talking about the books that I own, the ones that I've read versus what I haven't read, go ahead and like this video, leave a comment of any ideas or things that you want to see me read in the future. And you should go ahead and subscribe while you're there. If you hit the little bell icon, you'll be notified every time that I post, which is Monday at noon. And I'll see you guys in the acknowledgement. Bye!